This video will briefly cover individual rights versus public domain. Copyright is the exclusive legal right to reproduce, publish, sell, or distribute the matter and form of something as a literary, musical, or artistic work. Anyone is capable of acquiring a copyright if his or her work is original and fixed in a tangible media. Copyrights work in a manner of ways. They protect the individual from others who would use their works in an unauthorized manner. They promote creativity by allowing others to find inspiration from their original work, and they also give the author credit for their work. This recognition is protected by exclusive rights. These rights are the right to reproduce the work, to perform the work publicly, display the work publicly, derive from the work, and distribute the work. Despite this protection, copyrights only last for a limited time. Upon expiration, the work is put into the public domain, which means the individual is no longer protected by the copyright, and anyone is able to use the work without permission. If a single author registers their work, it will be protected for the duration of their life plus 70 years. This also applies to joint registrations. However, works made for hire are applicable for 95 years from the first publication or 120 years from the date of creation. Two works currently in the public domain are Pride and Prejudice and Night of the Living Dead. Pride and Prejudice was originally written in 1813 by Jane Austen. Hailed as one of the greatest novels in English literature, it still receives considerable attention from scholars today. Modern interest in the book has resulted in various adaptations like Pride and Prejudice and Zombies. To date, the book has sold over 20 million copies, and there have been numerous films and theater adaptations as well. With so much attention drawn on the novel, if it were protected under a copyright, it's highly unlikely that multiple publishers would be able to distribute the works. Not only that, but the film and theater works would also be limited. Night of the Living Dead is an independent horror film directed by George A. Romero and released in 1968. While it was originally criticized for being too explicit, it has since gone on to receive critical acclaim and has made over $42 million. In 1968, U.S. copyright law required copyright ownership to be displayed on the actual print of the film. Earlier prints of Night of the Living Dead went under the title Night of the Flesh Eaters, under which the copyright was held. When the title was changed for theatrical release, the distributors apparently failed to include the copyright information, which ultimately left the movie to fall into the public domain. This mistake has played an important role in the development in modern horror movies, as film production companies have been able to use this work to develop similar movies and even remakes and direct sequels. Two works currently copyrighted are Going to California and The Crow. Going to California is a song released by Led Zeppelin in 1971. The song, like many of Zeppelin's work, is highly praised by fans and artists alike. In '98, Pearl Jam released Given to Fly on their fifth album, which has been regarded as one of their best songs. This may be due to the fact that it closely follows the structure and melody of Going to California. Zeppelin could have potentially sued Pearl Jam for infringement, but instead they took it as a sign of respect. Robert Plant from Led Zeppelin even performed Given to Fly with Pearl Jam before they segued into Going to California. The Crow is a graphic novel written by James O'Barr, which was later adapted to film in 1994. It is a very emotional work, as O'Barr had originally created the story after his fiancée passed away. The death of Brandon Lee during the film further increased the poignancy of the story. Despite already having ruined the movie by creating terrible sequels, if there wasn't a copyright set in place, the story could be recreated without O'Barr's consent and could potentially tarnish the integrity of the original story. As you can see in these few examples, public domain works help people expand and thrive off existing ideas. They not only teach, but also help us preserve our past. Copyrights are beneficial too, as they ensure authors get the financial and other credit they deserve for their work. Both are a necessity, and they should be used by all in the appropriate manner.